Good evening, everyone. It gives me an immense pleasure to welcome all the participants and viewers of WHRF who are here today for the session. I, Gitanjali Garg, coordinator of WHRF, feel glad to be a part of WHRF. WHRF is a trust that works for women empowerment and it is recognized by Government of India. I wholeheartedly thank Yogaguru, Dr. Neha ma'am, who is founder of WHRF, and Yogaguru, Dr. Mohan sir, who is founder patron of WHRF, for providing us such a big platform. WHRF has been conducting research-based studies for last 1 year, and the series are conducted on every Sunday evening. Apart from this, WHRF also conducts other activities too, details of which can be obtained from WHRF page on Facebook. Today is 68th episode of Talk Series with Ms. Sanjana Malik ji. On behalf of Women Health Research Foundation, I wholeheartedly welcome our today's guest, Ms. Sanjana Malik ji, who is here today to speak on the topic Understanding Self-Care. Sanjana Malik ji is a graduate in Applied Psychology from Amity University, Noida. She is also pursuing her master's degree in Counseling Psychology from Christ University, Bangalore. So let us understand the importance of understanding self-care for overall well-being from Sanjana ji. A very warm welcome to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Gitanjali ji. Thank you for inviting me here. And I would like to thank everybody at WHRF for giving me this platform to talk about something which, as a student of psychology, I think it's very, very important that everyone should know about. So I'll just share my screen. And yeah, I hope my screen is visible to everyone. All right, so about understanding self-care. So basically what we're going to cover is what is self-care, what is the importance of self-care, what are different ways in which a person can do self-care, and common tips related to self-care. So moving forward. So firstly, what is self-care? Now, as the name suggests, self-care simply means taking care of yourself. It's all about taking out just a little bit of time to do things that help you feel good, that help you live a better life, that help you take action to restore a balance between all aspects of your health, be it physical, emotional, mental, spiritual. Just doing things that help you sort of recharge yourself. And when you recharge, when you look after yourself, you can be healthy, you can take after all your responsibilities, you can care for others in a better manner when you care for yourself first. And you can basically accomplish all the things that you plan to by just taking out a little bit of time, identifying what your limits are, not going over them, not pushing yourself to the point of burnout, but rather taking care of yourself just like how you would take care of a friend. So it's all about identifying things that bring you joy and help you de-stress. Um, Now, the importance of self-care. The very fact that self-care holds so many benefits makes it important for every one of us to take out a little bit of time from our day or from our week, whatever frequency works for everyone, to just look after yourself and do things that bring you joy. Firstly, self-care helps us break free from stress. Our daily lives are very hectic. All of us have one or the other thing to do, something or the other lined up, looking after family, looking after responsibilities, work, everything. If we take it all together, it is bound to push us to a point of burnout. We can exhaust our resources very quickly. So if we take out a little bit of time to just look after ourselves, we can, in a way, just take a little break from that stress and look at that stress from a very objective perspective. We can see the source of our stress. We can see where is the cause of stress coming from, and we can work towards it in a better manner. So firstly, yes, of course, it provides a break from stress. Then it boosts our physical health too. Now, there are many studies that show that there is a correlation between stress and heart diseases. This is just one example of how, if we don't take care of ourselves, it not only affects us mentally, but it also affects us physically. People have things ranging from headache or digestion problems to things as severe as what I just mentioned, heart diseases. So it's very important that when you take a little bit of time to just look after yourself, you know that you are also boosting your physical health. You are improving your circulation. You are improving your hydration level. You're basically looking after the body that you have. And then moving forward, it also improves emotional health. Now, when we look after ourselves, we are able to see our emotions also from a very objective perspective, from a not getting overwhelmed by emotions, but rather understanding that, okay, these are the emotions I'm feeling. If I'm angry, why am I feeling angry? If I'm upset, what is the cause of it? And when you look after your emotions in a better manner, you become more emotionally intelligent. You don't get swamped by these emotions. You don't get, um, frustrated or overwhelmed or exhausted, but you're able to look after your emotions in a better manner. And that's what it means to improve your emotional health, how you feel, to improve that well being. Then self care also makes you a better caregiver. What that means is all of us are caregivers. Each one of us is taking care of somebody else around us. It could be friends, family, partners, people at work, the forum that we have over here. We are all doing things to look after each other, which is a very good thing. But there's this very beautiful saying that you can't pour from an empty cup. If you yourself are not looking after your well being, it's very difficult to reach a potential where you can look after others. So, to become a better caregiver, it's also important that you give that care to yourself. When you're looking after your well being, you're not only considering your needs, you're honoring your needs and your well being, but you're also considering needs of other people around you. You are recharging yourself to become the best version of yourself for everybody around you. So, in a way, when you recharge yourself through self care, everybody around you also benefits from that recharging. And lastly, self care offers us alone time. What that means is that in the modern day living that we are in, we're constantly surrounded by people. We're constantly surrounded by lots of opinions and ideas, which can be a good thing, which can be very knowledgeable. But it's also important to take a step back and just spend some time with your alone self so that you can understand, what do I think? What do I feel? Why am I feeling this way? What are my likes? What are my dislikes? To just connect and know yourself better. So this is very important, and this is the premise, this is the basic essence why self-care is important. In a nutshell, it's all about understanding and creating a healthy relationship with yourself so that you can, transmit these good feelings that you create about yourself to everybody around. Then moving on to types of self-care. Now, this can be different for different people. For some people, maybe emotional self-care does the job. For some people, physical self-care does it. You can also have a combination of these. Like some people may do a little bit of mental self-care and physical self-care on a daily basis or on a weekly basis. The frequency can also be different for different people. Idea is it's all related to the self. What works for you? What works best for you? So, firstly, we have emotional self care. As the name suggests, this is all about doing activities that help you connect with your emotion. It helps you connect, process, and reflect on all the range of emotions that you're feeling. So, under this, there can be common things like writing diary entries, writing journals. Something that I personally like to do is that towards the end of the day, I take out at least a minute or two to just write one line about the day, all the emotions, or a little the prominent emotion that I felt over the day. So when you put it out on a piece of paper or somewhere where you feel comfortable, you basically understand your emotion in a better manner, and you don't let the emotion speak for you. You allow your logic to take over. Just a lot of the times people say कि गुस्से में बोल दिया, but that is just the anger talking. If we regularly take part in self-care, if a person who is prone to anger, if you regularly take part in emotional self-care, you can allow yourself to see that, okay, this is the source of my anger, and I should focus from that point of source. I should see what can I do about that source and not let my anger get the better of me. So writing journal can be one thing. Then various kinds of art forms. If you like creating art, maybe painting, drawing, sketching, these are also some ways that you can process your emotions better. Playing music is a very beautiful way to sort of connect with your emotions and validate your emotions. Allowing ki, okay, if I'm feeling sad, it's fine. I allow myself to feel sad, and I can maybe listen to a little bit of slow music to just allow myself to let that sadness out, and instead of bottling it all in. Then for some people, dancing can also be an excellent form of emotional self-care. And last but not the least, very important, being a therapist. Now, in the present day society, there is obviously a lot of stigma, even though we've come a very long way, but still there is a little bit of stigma around seeking therapy. And there's a very common notion that only people who have some major life disturbance, or somebody who has experienced a major loss, or is having a very severe mental problem, only those people go to seek therapy. But that's not true. Everyone can benefit from therapy. In therapy, we are basically just understanding where our emotions come from, and we are understanding how we feel, who we are, um, getting to know ourselves better. And with the help of a professional who is trained to help you do those things, you can gain a better perspective about your emotional health. So, emotional self care is all about that. Then there is practical self care. Practical self care is basically everything that you are doing to take a practical charge over your life, to, in a way, look after all the core aspects of your life, take action so that you prevent koi bhi future ka stress to come in. So this could be things like preparing a to-do list for yourself. Ki, okay, in today, if I have to do 5 tasks, I note it on a piece of paper. So that could be a form of practical self-care. You prepare yourself to take action towards your life. You take charge of your life. Then creating a monthly budget, creating a weekly budget for yourself, taking professional development classes, organizing your closet, organizing your kitchen, the space that you live in, organizing your workstation. All of those are ways that you can engage in practical self-care. Then there's physical self-care. Now, as the name suggests, physical self-care is all the activities that you can do to look after your physical self, your physical health, your body. This is things like taking walk, exercising, doing yoga, which is an excellent way to care for your body. Sleeping, getting regular amount of sleep, sleeping on a proper time, staying hydrated, drinking lots of water, eating nutritious food for most of the time. So those can be some ways that you basically tell yourself that I am important and I am allowed to take care of my body, and you're honoring the needs of your body this way. Then there is mental self care. This is all the things that help you basically run the engines of your mind, stimulate your mind, your intellect, your thinking capacities. So this could be things like solving some puzzle, playing chess, listening to a podcast, learning something new, reading an encyclopedia, reading a book, going to a museum. All of those are ways that you can, just stimulate your energy, your mind, do things that help you gain more knowledge and keep your cognition level, your mental levels in check. Then there is social self care. Now, this is basically all the activities that you can do to connect with your social life, the social aspect of your life, to enhance your relationship with everybody around you, with the important people in your life. And people may say that, okay, if it's self care, why are we involving other people in it? Why isn't it just me, myself? But the truth is that sometimes when you spend some time with some people that you value, some people who you like spending time with, you also recharge yourself. That too is a form of self care. So, spending some social time can also be good to enhance your self capacities. And this could be things like going for a brunch, going for a lunch with your friends, spending time with your family, spending time with your parents, um, not just people you know, but also the forum that we are in over here today, connecting with like minded individuals, contributing in the community, going for community lunches, playing some group sports. All of those are ways that you can connect with the social life around you. And then there is spiritual self care. Spiritual self care, I believe, is something that all of us can partake in to bring calm and bring peace in our lives. So these are all the activities that help you nurture your spirit and allow you to think bigger than yourself. Basically, put yourself in the perspective in the world that we are in the universe that we are in. And this does not necessarily have to be religious, though it can be for some people. For some people, going to their place of worship, praying, doing religious activities, that is a form of spiritual self care. But for many others, just simply meditating, doing breath work, doing yoga, dedicating some time to reflect on your life, on things that you like, taking some self reflection time out, all of those can be ways of spiritual self care, ways in which you basically sort of remind yourself that there are things beyond you in this world and you connect with the world in that way. So these are different kinds of self care, and these are ways that people can, you can pick a few activities out of this. Just take out some time from the day and partake in self care to honor your needs, to honor yourself. And lastly, about tips for self care, it's important to understand what self care really is in terms of the fact that it could be, in some situations, asking for help, understanding that maybe you have lots of work on your hands and it's more than your capacity. So it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to lean on other people around us. That too is a form of self care. It could be spending time alone. In some situations, setting boundaries and putting yourself first, saying no to situations that are beyond your capacity, saying no to what you're not comfortable with. That too is a form of self care. Then asking for what you need can also be a form of self care. Taking step back when you feel like there is more, or sometimes when situation is becoming too chaotic around you, taking a step back to just reflect on it from a third person lens, so to say. And yeah, forgiving yourself. All of us are human, all of us are allowed to make mistakes. What's important is that we choose ourselves. We see that, okay, this was the source of our mistake and how we can improve on it. And yeah, that too can be a form of self-care. Now, there are some simple 5-minute activities, very simple ones, that all of us can do maybe on a daily basis or a weekly basis to engage with self-care. So first one could be simple, stepping outside for some fresh air. It's a very small thing. You could just sit in the balcony or maybe go for a walk in a park. But that 5 minutes is all to yourself. Sirf apne liye. And that can be very, very beneficial to connect with yourself. Taking out time to drink some water. You can have some reminders for yourself to drink water, to drink at least 8 glasses of water in a day. Doing some short mindfulness breathing exercises. Now, breathing exercises can be a very excellent way to connect with yourself. There are things like square breathing, which is one form of short mindfulness breathing exercise where you inhale for 4 seconds, then you hold the breath for 4 seconds, then you exhale for the next four, and then you hold again for 4 seconds. So visualizing your breathing as a square in a way, that can be a form of self care. Finding something new to learn that brings you joy. Maybe going for a dance class, going for a hobby class, for painting classes, or just in today's time, you don't even have to essentially go somewhere. We have YouTube, we have so many online resources. So just taking out a little bit of time to do things that you enjoy can also be a form of self care. Then listening to songs that make you smile, listening to any kind of music. For some people, classical music is a way to just calm down, bring some peace in your surroundings. So that could be some excellent way of self-care. And these are simple activities. You don't have to spend like hours doing it. Just 5 to 10 minutes of doing something like this can be very beneficial. Stretching, just you just need a yoga mat around you, and you can simply do some stretches, follow some instructors, just release that tension from your body. That can be excellent form of physical self-care. And of course, yes, activities for self love. So, self care is like a journey towards self love. So, this could be things like, journaling, writing 3 things that you like about yourself, 3 instances where you felt like you helped someone, 3 things that you find grateful, you find yourself grateful for in your life. So just ways to connect with yourself and leading to self-love can also be excellent ways of looking after your well-being. And yeah, that's pretty much all about from my side, all about self-care. And I hope that through this brief talk, most of us feel encouraged to understand that looking after yourself is a very, very important thing to do. It's a very useful thing for yourself. And it does not just benefit you, it benefits everybody around you. It benefits your family, your community, your society. So, yeah, that's it from my side.
Ma'am, it was very nice information. I have question. Is self-care not a selfishness?
Uh, well, a lot of the times the two things can be confused, and it's a very fine line between the two. When we say ki, okay, we're doing some self-care, a lot of the times people can use that as an excuse to be selfish. But inherently, looking after yourself is not selfish. It's just re-energizing yourself so that you can do things more selflessly. It can be a part to selflessness. But yes, of course, if you use self-care as an excuse to be selfish or to do things that may not sit well with everybody around you, then that of course is not self-care. Then it is being selfish. So there's a very fine line between the two. But
Okay.
inherently, self-care isn't selfish.
Okay. Is self-care only one-stop solution for all mental issues, or other than that, anything else needs to be done?
So, well, what I can say is that if we look at it from the perspective of mental health professionals, in many cases, in situations where people come with mental health concerns to therapists, self-care is suggested as a part of the treatment, as a way to assist with your mental health concern, but it is not a foolproof solution. It's just a way that you can connect with yourself and know yourself better and handle other stresses of your life in a better way. But yes, if you are facing symptoms or signs of some severe problem, then simply just relying on self care may not be the best way to go about it. It's always good to check in with a therapist or with some professional who can guide you better about your specific condition and include self care as a part of your plan, as a part of the treatment plan. So, yeah, it's not a foolproof solution, but it is a way to reach better well being.
Thank you, ma'am. It was a very useful information.